Yes, hi and hello, dear friends. Welcome back once again to our channel, Bagai Academy of Mathematics. And this playlist is for NTA UGC Net Paper 1. This session, we are about to solve a set of problems from data interpretation as per audience request. And that too, we are about to solve this set of problem from the variety of bar graph. So hope you know what is a bar graph. So we'll be having our data which is represented in terms of bar diagram. We'll have to see what information is given here, and then we'll have to interpret the information what is given there. We'll have to take the data from there, and then we'll have to answer the following questions. So that's going to be the plan for this session. And here if you see, we have a set of data given to us. This is given in terms of bar chart. So you can see the bar diagram here, and also you can see the data here. So this data is about what information is given here. All these details are given here, and based on this we have 5 questions here. We are going to answer them, solve them one by one. Yes, we go here. So first of all, let's spend some time on what is given here in this bar graph. Yes, yeah. So the below graph shows the sales of book in thousands. So it's very important. So they are giving sales of books done in terms of thousand numbers. Okay. From 6 various branches of a publishing company in 2 years, during 2 consecutive years, 2000 and 2001. And if you see those 6 companies, I mean the 6 branches of the company, the 6 branches are B1, B2, B3, B4, B5, and B6. So these are going to be the 6 branches of the company, and you can see those branches are given here in the x-axis. Yeah, you can see here, right? B1, B2, B3, B4, B5, and B6. You have these 6 branches here along the x-axis, and also the sales, I mean the sales done, that is given here in the y-axis. Is it or not? Yeah, fine. And what about these two colors? Yeah, as it is given in the question, for 2 consecutive years, I mean 2000 and 2001, they have given the two sales, I mean the years for the 2 consecutive years, sales for the 2 consecutive years, I mean 2000 and then 2001. So let me do a thing here. I'm just going to construct a simple table here. I mean, I'm going to take the data there and put it in the table. So let's see how it works so that you can get a better understanding. So I'm going to place B1, B2, then B3 here, B4, B5, and B6. So I've taken the 6 branches here. So I've just written in one column. So that means they stand for rows, B1 row, B2, B3, B4, B5, and B6. And I'm going to take column wise 2000 and 2001. So that is 2000 here and 2001. Hope you can understand this. These two numbers, they stand for the years actually. So 2000 and then 2001. So I'm going to take like this, and I'm going to just record these numbers, I mean the data here in this table. Just for a clarity, I'm doing this. So yeah, I'm going to change the color. Actually, let me just change the color of the ink here. So I think I can go for blue color. Yeah, it is available blue. Yes. So let's take the data one by one. See, B1, I mean branch 1. Here it is available. Branch 1 for the year 2000 and for the year 2001. We have the two values, and be clear with the colors also. See, 2000 is given in terms of given in blue color, and 2001 it is there in some kind of maroon color, some dark red. So for 2000 it is 80, and 2001 it is 105. So let me just take down the values here. This is 80, this is 105. So similarly, let us record all the values here. So for B2, 2000 the sales was 75, and 2001 it was 65. So 75 comes here and 65 comes here. Carefully we can note down the data. And for B3, they are 95 and 110 respectively. So I'm quickly noting them, 95 and 110. For B4, they are 85 and 95. And for B5, it is 75 and 95. And at last, for B6, it is 70 and 80. Now I can do this, but it is not necessary that I must do it. Why? Because it is of course it is going to be a waste of time only. And if we are very much fast enough in interpreting the data, collecting the data from the bar graph itself, we can quickly do that so that we can save much time. We need not waste our time in writing this table, in proceeding this table, right? Yes. Yeah, fine. Anyways, just for a clarity, I'm doing this. Yeah, okay. Yes. So now we are clear with what is given here in this bar graph. This bar graph thing is what I have just transferred to a table. So we have 6 different branches of a company and 2 different years. What are the sales? So I can easily collect it from this table itself. Yes, done. Yeah. Now I think we can go for the questions. So yeah, I'm going to move the screen down. So if any details we want, we'll have to come back here to get the data. Is that's not an issue, I think. So we may have to frequently travel between up and down. Yes. Yeah. Anyways, we'll adjust for it. So yeah, our first question, what is the ratio of the total sales of branch B2 for both the years to the total sales of branch B4 for both the years? So it's going to be a ratio question, right? So yeah, fine. So we'll have to take the total sales of B2, I mean B2's total, B2 total, and this is to B4's total. So what here total stands for? Actually, the total here stands for both the years, the sales for both the years, right? Yeah, okay. So I think it would be very easy. B2's total, we'll collect it from the table itself. B2 for the 2 years, we have the numbers very clearly. We have already recorded here it in the table. So B2, we have the numbers 75 and 65. So what would be the total of 75 and 65? So it will give you 75 plus 65 will be 140, is it or not? So 140 is to, and what about B4's total? So B4, I'm slightly moving it up. So B4, we have the numbers 85 and 95. So 85 plus 95 would give you 180, is it or not? So our ratio would be 140 is to 180. That's it. And once on simplification, what we can do is we can cut these two zeros, and we are having the numbers 14 is to 18, and that we can factor with the number 2. We can divide both these number by 2, right? So this would be 2 sevens are 14, and this would be 2 nines are 18. So 7 is to 9. Further, we'll not be able to simplify. So this would be the simplified form. So 7 is to 9 is the answer for our first question, and we have it in option D. Yeah. So for the first question, the answer would be option D, 7 is to 9. I hope it is very clear to you. Simple arithmetic calculation. We just add up numbers, and then we find the ratio. Ratio is just simplification. It's like a fraction. How we simplify a fraction, the same way we can simplify the ratio, right? Yes. So I think we can move on to the second question. Question number 2. Here with us is, yeah, question is the total sales of branch B6 for both the years are what percentage of the total sales of branch B3 for both the years? Yes, I hope it is clear to you. So we are asked to find the percentage. So be clear with what is percentage. Percentage always means we'll have to take a fraction, and that fraction, if we want to find the percentage, we'll have to multiply that fraction with 100. This is all we have in percentage. Very simple. So whenever they ask what percentage, so this value is what percentage of the other value. So all we need to do is we have to collect the fraction and just multiply that fraction into 100. That would give the answer very easily. And here, what fraction will come here? That matters. So again, for it, we'll just see the question very carefully. The total sales of branch B6 for both the years, or what percentage of total sales of B3 for both the years. So that means out of B3's total, what would be this B6 total's percentage? That's it. Okay, yes, fine. So for which, what I'm going to do is, again, I'm going to come back to the table. So B3's total we want, that comes here in the denominator's position, and B6 total, that comes in the numerator's position. Yes, ready? Yeah, we'll go for the table once again. B3 and B6, strongly remember it. So B3 is total. So yes, B3 is total would be actually 95 plus 110. So that would be nothing but 205, right? Yeah, yes, well, let's note it here. So B3 is total would be 205, that is 205. And out of which, for which total, we need to find the percentage B6 total. So yes, again, come here. B6 is total. B6 total, it's very easy. 70 plus 80, which is simply 150. So that means, I'm sorry, that means we will be having 150 here in the numerator's position. I hope it is clear to you. So be clear with the question what it is given for us. Total sales of branch B6 for both the years, or what percentage of total sales of branch B3 for both the years. So be clear with the things. So this R matters. So R means that will come here in the numerator's position. Okay, so is R, that represents the numerator's position. So that's the reason I'm placing B6 total here in the numerator's position. Is what percentage of? So what do you mean by that of? Of, that of stands for of, out of, that stands for the total. I mean the denominator's position. And that's the reason I'm inserting this B3 is total here in the denominator's position. So it's very clear, 150 by 205 into 100. So always whenever we get these kind of fractions, we can always approximate our answer, right? So for an example, our numerator's position, we have 150. Our denominator's position, we have 205. So numerator 150 is a very round number, right? It's actually a very round number. But come to the denominator we have 205. Let me round it. Let me just bring it to 200. So now if you see this 150 by 200 into 100, it's very easy for us to say the answer is simply 75 percentage. Is it or not? Yeah, I hope you are able to catch this. Why? Because this is exactly 3/4. So 150 by 200 is 3/4. So what is 3/4 of 100? It's 75%, right? Because it's like 3/4, right? So it's easy for us to imagine for the round number 200. I'm just approximating it. If we take 200 to be the denominator, 1/4 would be 30. Sorry, 1/4 would be 50, and 3/4 would be 150. So in that case, it's like 75 percentage. What if we have 200? The answer would be 75. But come to our question. Here we have the denominator's position. We have the number 205. So this is enough for us to say that our answer must be slightly less than 75. Okay, yes. Because for 200, my answer was for 200, 150 is 75 percentage. But for the number 205, this 150 has to be something less than 75 percentage. Is it or not? So this gives us enough for us to say option C has to be our answer. Yes, right? Yeah, yes. So we can now very clearly conclude that our answer has to be 73.17 percentage. So let me repeat the logic. It's very easy for us to say because this percentage, all these calculations are just a game of numbers and fractions. So in that case, if you are very sure with the nature of numbers, fractions, we can easily say. So 150 by 200, it is exactly 75%, but 150 by 205, we have our denominator to be increased slightly. So in that case, my answer has to be slightly less than 75, and that gives us slightly less than 75 because our answer can't be option D, because option D is something which is more than 75%, because see here 75.55. So definitely that can't be our answer. So option C, which is slightly less than 75, which is 73.17, that has to be our answer. And that's the reason I'm confirming to be that my answer. Okay, yes. But anyways, if you want to solve it conventionally, let us see that method also. So for which what I can do is I can play with this 150 and 205. I can just cancel out these two numbers with 5 tables. Yes, so 530s are 150 and 541s are 205. So that means we are having 30 by 41 into 100. And still, if I want to simplify it, I can't find any more tables to cancel these. So in that case, I will be having 30 into 100, which is 3000 by 41. So no other go, I'll have to divide it. So let me just divide 3000 by 41. So I have some enough space here. So 3000 by 41. Let me push it some more up. So 3000 by 41. So 3000 by 41. So I think I can go for 7 times. So 41 sevens are 287, right? Because it's very easy for us to perform these tables because 4 sevens are 28, 1 sevens are 7. So 287. So balance I will have 130. So once again I can go for 41 threes are 123, and again I'll have 70 balance. So I have to go for 7 balance. I'm just inserting a 0 for which I have to place a decimal point here. I think we are approaching the answer because see, so far we got 73. So that means 73.17. It's very closer. So anyways, we'll proceed. 70 and 41. This is exactly 1 times. So we will have, let me push the screen down. Yes, fine. So this is exactly 41, and now I have 29, and if I just extend it to take 290, I can go up to again 7 times because it is 287. So now it is very clear that 73.17 is going to be our answer. So now I can confirm very well that 73.17 percentage is my answer for the second question. Yes, so option C, 73.17 is going to be the answer for our second question. Yes. Now let's move on to the third question. Question number 3, which is with us, is what percentage of the average sales of branches B1, B2, B3 in 2001 is the average sales of the branches B1, B3, B6 and in the year 2000? So very tricky question. And again, if we are very clear with the properties of average and percentage, these questions are going to be very, very easy, right? Yes. So yeah. Let's again go back to the table. Why? Because we need to take the data for the year 2001. So 2001, B1, B2, B3. Yes, we need the average. But for that, if we want to find the average, we first of all need the total, right? So let's worry about the total sales of the branches B1, B2, and B3 in the year 2001. So 2001, B1, B2, B3. Yes, come on. We'll take the data here. 2001, B1, B2, B3. Yes. Yeah, here it is. 2001, B1, B2, and B3. So that means 105, 65, and 110. We'll have to add up all these three numbers. So that will give us 105 plus 65 will be exactly 170, and 170 plus 110, which is going to be exactly 280. Yes. The first value we got it to be 280. So the total sales for B1, B2, sorry, B2, B1, B2, and B3 in the year 2001. We just now got it to be 280. I'm noting it. And yes, here again, B1, B3, B6 in 2000, B1, B3, B6 in the year 2000. That's the next one we need to take. So B1, B3, B6. Remember that B1, B3, and B6. Let me write clearly. In the year 2000. So that means we'll have to go for the first column for the three companies B1, B3, and B6. So I'm going to take B1, B3, and B6. So B1, B3, and B6. So for the year 2000, be clear. So B1 it is 80, B3 95, and B6 it is 70. So 80 plus 95 plus 70. First of all, 80 plus 70 would be 150. 150 plus 95 would be 245. So that means this would be 245. And actually these are the totals we are getting. And what about the averages? Averages would be 280 and 245. These are the totals. So what if we need to find the average? Average is simply total by number. And in that case, this 280 has to be divided by 3 and 245 has to be divided by 3. Is it or not? But hold on, we need not do that division. Why? Because here we are actually finding the percentage. What percentage of this average is this average? This is our question, right? So again, it's a percentage question. So let's worry about what is the numerator and what is the denominator. And again, as usual, we'll have to multiply it with 100. Yes, fine. Yeah. So what percentage of the total sales of B1, B2, B3? I mean, this one, this total. So this total is actually 280. So we need to find out this average only. So that would be 280 by 3. But as I told, we need not worry about that average. Why? Because I'll state the reason. I'll have to take, let me take that same 280 itself to be my denominator. Yes. Yeah. And yes, is so average sales of B1, B3, and B6 in the year 2000. So that means this value, this total 245, that will come here in the numerator's position. And you may wonder why I'm not taking the average. I mean, why I'm not calculating what is 280 by 3, 245 by 3. but that is not needed at all. Why? Because anyways, if I do that division 245 by 3 and 280 by 3, I'm going to divide both these numerator and denominator by the same number, and that will keep the fraction as it is. It will never affect it. And that's the reason I'm just taking the totals itself. So if you want to take a ratio or division for two totals, it would be same as the ratio or fraction for the two averages. Why? Because the numbers are same. You're going to divide with the same number, and in that case, it won't affect your fraction. All right. I hope you are able to understand it. So 245 by 180 into 100. I think I can simplify this fraction. 245 by 180. Both numbers are divisible by 5. This is 49 in 5 tables, and this is 56 in 5 tables. And once again, 49 and 56 both are divisible by 7. So 7 sevens are 49 and 7 eights are 56. So finally we have 7 by 8 into 100. So what is 7/8 of 100? And it's again a very easy trick. If we know what is 1/8 of 100, this would help us very easily. 1/8 of 100 is actually 12.5 percentage, and this is 7/8 of 100. So it's actually a complement of 12.5 percentage, right? So we know total percentage is 100. So from 100, this 7 by 8 is 1/8 less. So actually it would be nothing but 100 minus 12.5 percentage. So that will be 87.5 percentage. That's it. And yeah, option D, we have our answer 87.5 percentage. You may wonder what I've done here. Let me explain it more clearly. See here, if I know 1/8 of 100 is 12.5 percentage, this is a very standard value, 1 by 8 into 100. Just try to do this division. This will be like 50 by 4, 25 by 2, and this is 12.5%. You may easily understand what is this 12.5%, 1 by 8 of 100. And what we have here, we actually have 7 by 8, right? So actually 1 minus 1 by 8 is what is 7 by 8, right? So the same thing is what I'm doing in terms of percentage. This 1 represents this 100. This 1/8 represents this 12.5. So 100 minus 12.5 I'm doing, I'm getting the answer to be 87.5. And still, if you have doubts, you can even verify this calculation. You try to do 7 by 8 into 100. So again, you will end up with 8 and 100. This will be 12.5 times, and 7 into 12.5, you will still get the same value, 87.5. And that's the answer that you see in option D. So option D, 87.5 is going to be the answer for our third question. Yes, fine. Yeah. Yeah, coming to the fourth question. The question appears to be very simple, I think. What are the average sales of the branches, of all the branches for the year 2000? Yes, that's it. So that means now we have to worry about what is the average sales of all the branches in terms of thousands itself. They're asking in terms of thousands. Actually, the graph itself, we have the term data in terms of thousand only. So that's nothing to worry. So we have to find the average sales of all the branches for the year 2000. So that means we'll have to take the sales for all the 6 branches, B1, B2, B3, B4, B5, and B6, but for the year 2000. Yes, ready? Yeah, fine. Yes. We'll go back to the table. I'm going to take all the values for the year 2000. So let's take the values for 2000. So the values are 80, 75, 95, 85, 75, and 70. Yes, let's carefully add up all these values. So let's add up in pairs 80 and 70. This would be 150. So let me use this space for the workout, 150. 75 plus 95 will give us, it would be actually 170, if I'm right. Yes, 75 plus 95 is 170. Yeah, no problem. So 85 plus 75, this will be 160. So this will be the total 150 plus 170 plus 160. I can just add up all these three values. So if you still add these three values, what is 150 plus 170 plus 160? So actually this will give you 0, and 5, 7, 6 will be 18, 1, 1 plus 1 plus 1 plus 1 will be 4, 480. That's it. So we successfully got the totals of all these branches, I mean sales, for the year 2000. So I'm just simply adding up all these 6 numbers. That's what is giving me this total 480. So go back to the question, 480. Total is 480. So they're asking what is the average sales. Just now we got the total to be 480. And they're asking what? They're asking about the average. So if you want to find the average, what happens? Average will be nothing but total. This 480 divided by number. How many companies are there? How many branches are there? Sorry, there's only one company, but there are 6 branches actually. So 6 divided by 6. So for 6 branches is what we need to find the average. So 480 by 6 would give you 80, because we clearly know 6 8s are 48, right? So this is exactly 80 times, and you can see our answer in option B. Option B, 80 is going to be the answer for our fourth question, a very simple question. And here they are asking what is the average. So this question is nothing to play with ratio or percentage. So we need to actually compute the average. So that's the reason I'm taking the total. I'm getting the total to be 480, and 480 I'm dividing by 6 in order to get the average, and that is giving me the answer 80. So answer 80, which you can see in option B, is the answer for our fourth question. And yes, coming to the last question, one more question we have, question number 5. So what is there in this question? What is the total sales of the branches B1, B1, B3 and B5 together for both the years? So be clear with the question what is asked here. So we need to compute. I'm sorry, I've gone so down. Okay, yes. Yeah, B1, B3 and B5. So for these three branches, B1, B3, B5, easy to remember, odd numbers, 1, 3, 5. So B1, B3, B5, what was the total sales of the branches for both the years? So that means we need to take B1, B3, B5 for both the years 2000 and 2001. So in that case, go back to the table that we have recorded. Yes. So B1, B3, B5 for both the years. So that means we have to add up these 6 values. So let me just circle it. This is the last question, right? So anyways, it won't affect. So B1, B3, these two numbers, and at last B5, these two numbers. So that means we'll be getting the total to be, so I will use this space to compute the total. So this will be 185, this will be 205, and this will be 75 plus 95, which will be 170, if I'm right. Yeah, yes, right. So we have to add up these three numbers once again. So if I add these three numbers, I would get 85 plus 5 is 90, 90 plus 70 is 60, 160, and 1 is a carry. So 1 plus 1 plus 2 plus 1 will be 5, 560. So yes, 560, our final answer for this question is 560. Let us search for this 560 here in the list of options. Yeah, success. Option D says 560. So we got the total. Very simple question, very direct question. They're just asking us to get the total for these three branches for the 2 years. So we'll have to take all the 6 numbers, 6 values, 6 sales values from the table. We have to just add those values. Just now we got the addition, we got it to be 560, and that 560 is ready available at option D. And this is the answer for our fifth question. Yes, yeah. So this is what I thought. I hope you are able to understand all the 5 questions the way we are solving it. And more than relying on formulas and everything, usage of techniques, some skills, some basic idea, that is more important. Why? Because we should have some basic knowledge of, we should have the basic nature. We should know the nature of fractions and numbers. So what if a denominator is increased, and what happens to the fraction? What if numerator is increased? What happens to the fraction? Or we should know the knowledge to compare two fractions. What happens to the denominator? What if we change the numerator or denominator? These things are needed. Only then we can know about the size of the fractions, and that would help us to get the comparison of percentages. And that skill is what more needed, and that surely comes in practice. And yes, I hope this set of problems that we have solved under bar diagrams is very clear to you. And yes, any doubts, you can sure post it in the comment box. And as usual, next session, we'll catch up with some other set of problems. See you soon there. Thank you so much. Yes. Yeah, fine. Yes.